Good afternoon, everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to have with us Miss Nisha Koiri. She is a practicing marketing professional by profession, but she's also done naturopathy and now nature cure as well. And she has been able to reverse her cancer without any modern medicine and just through the use of alternative medicine and nature cure. Welcome, Nisha. Thank you for sparing time to help benefit so many other people who will be watching this session today.
Thank you. In fact, it is my responsibility. So I'm truly honored to be here. So I hope I can reach out to as many people as possible, because that's what I keep doing. I actually tell my story to whoever I meet, so that yes, the fear of the word cancer can be reduced, and it's really not a disease, it's the body's survival mechanism. So that once that factor is revealed, so I'm great I can share this in your platform. Thanks for having me here.
It's totally my pleasure, really. Because at the end of the day, the alternative initiative is all about, that the body has an innate capability of healing itself. And if at all an external aid is required, why wouldn't we resort to any of the alternative medicines, such as homeopathy or Ayurveda, Unani? There are so many now, acupressure and stuff. But people immediately go in for allopathy instead of trying anything else. There's not even olden times we used to resort to home remedies first. Grandparents always did the desi nuske, but that no longer exists. So this story has to get across, and I hope it motivates people to take an informed decision. I mean, of course, there is chemo, there is radiation, there is modern medicine, and there is no denial. But at least, make an informed decision. Don't go with the fear factor.
Exactly. Exactly. Very, very true. That's what I did. I was really blessed. Shall I start my story?
Please. I was just going to ask you what made you choose alternative medicine or naturopathy instead of going in for allopathy.
Okay. This was 5 years plus back, around in May 2016. I was, see, there was this lump in the breast from a very long time. And I had done 2 biopsies earlier also, it had come negative, but this time I could feel the lump had grown in 2016, and I felt I have to go and do a mammogram. So that time I went in for a mammogram, and there the radiologist told me go and meet a gynac, because she labeled it Birard's 5, which is kind of malignant for sure. So the gynac, he sent me to a surgeon, and the surgeon sent me for biopsy. So while the biopsy procedure was on, I could see the radiologists were very scared. They were so terrified while doing it. They were so from their faces, I could make out, okay, this time the result will come positive. That means it will be malignant. So I knew that before I got the biopsy report in hand. But I had this thought about chemo always, because there was a aerobics instructor in my gym who had gained a lot of weight. So like any other, lady, I didn't want to gain weight. So I just put up a question on the internet: do I need chemotherapy to heal from cancer? Till that time, I had absolutely no clue, nothing about natural healing. I was living my own life and absolutely nothing, no idea. So there I was immediately led to this website called Chris Beat Cancer. Chris Beat Cancer in 2006 was diagnosed with 3rd stage colon cancer, and he healed himself through nutrition. So seeing his story, it was, so amazing. I don't know him. He's in the US. I'm here in one corner in Mumbai, but somehow it connected with me that, okay, if Chris can do it, I can do it too. And he had changed his full nutrition. I'm a Bengali. My diet was primarily non-vegetarian, and I have also done the Gold's Gym University personal trainer course. So I used to have a lot of animal protein, including milk and milk products, thinking it's very good for me all the time. So that's when I read Chris's site. It was very clear that I have to totally change my diet. But I felt he could do it, I could do it too. And there was 20 questions for your oncologist. That's which I printed out, and I met the surgeon who had sent me for biopsy. By that time, I got the report in my hand, which said it was ductal invasive carcinoma, grade 2. So that was what was written there. And I went and met him, and he told me that immediately you need to go in for the chemo or for first surgery. mastectomy, then chemo, radiation, the entire works. But I was actually, when I went to him, I was fully prepared that I'm going to be terrified. He's मुझे बहुत डराएंगे और मैं बहुत डरूंगी. You know, that was very clear in my mind. But then with the 20 questions in my hand, whichever one question when I was asking, of course, hidingly, because nobody, the doctors know best, you know, nobody wants, they don't want to be questioned. So, but I did question them and him, and it was really funny. Whatever answers he has given me, he was giving me, it was the exact same answers which Chris has predicted that the oncologist will reply. So, instead of being scared, मुझे हंसी आ रही थी. You know, I was really laughing that he is trying to frighten the death of me. मुझे डर नहीं लग रहा है. So that was a very big confidence booster. Okay, I'm not scared. Whatever they are saying, you know. I told him also, give me time. I cannot decide right now. I have to do the surgery. Have to do everything. I said, give me time. Do you give me 6 months? No, you don't have 6 months. 3 months? No. You know, 1.5 months? No. 1 month? No. 15 days? No. He's saying no. I said, I'm not going to die in 15 days or so. He's saying no. It's not the question of you dying. It's the question of cancer spreading. Now that's the normal tactic used by all. I mean, I don't blame the doctors so much because they have no clue. That's what they have taught: cancer, to cut, poison, burn. You know, that's what they have been taught.
Correct.
And
Correct.
that's what they really believe in. So they have no idea about the power, healing power of our own body, healing power of the food. So it was, he was very scared himself that no, I have to, we cannot afford to wait. It's like a cancer diagnosis is a death sentence. You will not get so much like it with a heart or a diabetes or so much. But with cancer, yes, you have to decide right away. So, but I came out with that diagnosis and I was absolutely clear in my mind. I'm not going to go in for the conventional. As I said, with the Chris Wheat cancer, the questions were very clear. What is chemotherapy all about? And radiation and surgery and everything. And there was no way I was going in for that at all. I'm too much in love with myself. मुझे तो जीना था, मुझे जीना है, so that has only 3% success rate. How can I take a chance with my body that way? There was no way I was going in for that. So my husband just told me one thing. He said, see, nobody in this world can predict anybody's death. So nobody can tell you that when you are going to die. So what we all know is right now what we are alive. So let us focus on how we want to live, not how we are going to die. Death to sabka hai, kabhi na kabhi sabka time aayega, sab jana hi hai sabko. But abhi jeena kaisa hai, wo to seekh le. So that was clear. I wanted to live this way, natural. From that time, I started researching and finding out more, and a wonderful world opened up to me, natural healing, which was, I mean, I really consider cancer was a blessing in disguise for me. It was truly a blessing, not only for me, my family, my extended family, like my Devrani keeps saying, thank God, you know, you were diagnosed with cancer. हम लोग पूरे सब family सुधर गए because we are, as I said, Bengalis. हमारा diet तो was wrong. Her small kids used to all the time keep falling sick and, you know, rushing to the doctor. And we all, you know, changed and we are all so much better because of that. So it began that way.
Actually, you know, what I've realized is that this is such a journey that we all live in ignorance. Whatever the masses are doing, everybody does that. It's
Right.
few of us, it's just a handful, you know, who actually have taken the road less traveled, isn't it?
True, true.
So I'm
Very
so
true.
glad you've done that because I'm sure you'll be an inspiration to so many more.
I don't know about the inspiration part, but I feel it's my responsibility to reach out to as many people as possible.
Agree.
So honestly, public speaking is something I don't appreciate. I mean, I get very nervous, but then for this, I come out and I tell people because what's the whole point? अगर मैं ठीक होके चुप बैठी, तो फिर there's no point. I mean, there's no भगवान ने मुझे ठीक क्यों किया? I have to tell the world, yes, it's possible. That's the way I, you know, started my natural healing journey.
Lovely. And then you pursued a naturopathy course and stuff, is it?
Yes, because see, when I was diagnosed, first I was looking out for a nutritionist because I didn't know how to eat. I had to relearn how to eat. I know how Chris went raw for 3 months, but for me, having a gajar and a beetroot for lunch was something which is समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा था मैं कैसे करूं. So then I reached out to whoever I knew in my entire circle, my friends, my extended family, everybody, that this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a nutritionist. So before I found a nutritionist, my school friend who stays in London, her cousin sister stays in the US, gave me the card of the naturopath in our my city, Mumbai. I went to him and I told him, see, this is what my diagnosis. I'm not going in for the conventional treatment. So he said, fine, I'll give you medicine. I'll give you tulsi and bel patta juice, which is a natural chemo. But don't expect that to be the magic pill. You have to change your full lifestyle. And then, I mean, you can have any medicine, but you cannot expect that आप जो जैसे खाते रहो वैसे continue करो. So first, I mean, I've heard it from Chris, then I heard it from him, no milk and milk products, no non-veg, that I stopped immediately. Then of course, then I found Sharan India. Through them, I met Dr. Nandita Shah, then I met Dr. Rashmi Menon. They were, the guiding forces for plant-based
Yes,
lifestyle for me.
nutrition.
So then I wanted more. Then I said, let me see if I can learn something more about naturopathy. And luckily, near my house, I found a course, a classroom study course, which taught me about naturopathy and yogic sciences. So I did that. So became a naturopath after that. Then went ahead and got to learn about Nature Cure, which was again a life changer for me, because before that, I was doing a lot of stuff. I used to do everything happily, drinking 6 glasses of carrot juice every day, wheatgrass juice, karela juice, papaya leaf juice, bitter apricot kernels, and
Mm.
coffee enemas. And of course, doing everything happily. I mean, I used to be drinking the karela juice. कोई देख के बोल भी नहीं सकता था कि वो करेला पी रहे हैं. I'm so happily drinking it. It looks so delicious to the person across. क्या पी रहे हो, that way, because I knew every drop of all whatever I'm having is, I mean, cancer killing properties has, I mean, I don't call them killing properties, whatever, the boosting, body's health boosting is there in every living plant,
Correct.
fruit, bolo, yeah, vegetable, everything has. So when you're having that, that is the real medicine. Because people say, अरे आपने कुछ किया ही नहीं, कैसे कैंसर हो गया, बट मैं सुबह से रात तक वही कर रही हूँ ना, मेरा हेल्थ बढ़ा रही हूँ. As you also are aware about what Nature Cure
Yes.
does.
Yeah.
So that's how it all, went on, how I landed up doing the naturopathy course too. People listen, but that's how I try to tell people, I try to impress on people. Yes, it's possible. I'm
I
saying it,
agree.
I'm a naturopath.
The good thing is that, you chose this journey. What I've realized is a lot of people, they live in reluctance, especially with regard to ladies, with the rise in hormonal problems in small girls these days. It is so important for them to leave milk and milk products. But the moment you say, everybody's like, no, milk, how can you even say it? It's like, you've committed a sin by telling them that, leave milk and milk products. But this thing really needs to be acknowledged and accepted. It's high time. Yeah.
Yes, very much needed, because see, milk is something, it's meant for that animal, that mammal's offspring, it's not meant for us. We are meant to have a human mother's milk, breast milk, till the time we are a baby. And then once, if you see, look around in nature, you will see the other mammals, no a mammal drinks another animal's milk, another breed's milk. It is the mother will give only to their offspring. But what happens, and once they start eating their food, whether it is grass or it's meat or whatever, ghas ya mass, lekin then they stop drinking milk, their own mother's milk also they stop drinking, they are not needed anymore. But with us humans, what we do, we drink our mother's milk, then we start eating our food, and then we drink another animal's milk, whether it is a cow's milk or a buffalo's milk or a goat milk or a camel milk. But we are not any of these animals. We're just not meant. It's for their child, it's for their baby, not for us. So once this clarity is there in your mind, because those growth hormones don't suit our human body, it creates havoc. And when the body tries to digest it, so that is causing more issues, as you just mentioned, the hormonal issues. So in fact, my kids are most happy that when I was diagnosed, first thing unka doodh band kiya. So they used not want to drink it, and I used to put all the sorts of bonvita and this, that, and give them, because that's what all mothers do. But the minute
Correct.
I got diagnosed, that was the first eye opener. Band karo, tab doodh band. So it was,
True.
it's so easy actually. It's very, very easy. And once you realize, you don't want to put that in your child's body.
Of course.
So, I mean, that knowledge has to go out that, this is not needed. In fact, not needed, it is harmful. Once you know it's harmful for your child, I mean, no mother will want to give it. So, but वो अभी जैसे बोलते हैं कि हाँ नहीं ये तो कृष्ण के जमाने से आ रहा है, and तभी से दे रहे हैं दूध, तभी तो कुछ नहीं हुआ. अरे एक तो first of all कृष्णा ने भी चोरी करके supposedly, if he has had, and his song is also there, as Dr. Arun Sharma keeps saying, मैया मोरी मैं नहीं माखन खायो, मैं नहीं खायो माखन. But still, people have this thought that he has had. तो वो उन्होंने भी चोरी करके लिया था. It was not in abundance, that their work style was different, their lifestyles was different, and they could manage to somehow digest it, but we cannot nowadays. That's the reason for this excessive diseases and all that in this time, in this
Very
day.
true. Very true. So what exactly did you eat? What all did you do? So you did homeopathy? You took homeopathy, right? For a couple of years?
I first, as I said, I went in for naturopathy, changed my diet completely. So I had a friend who was an MBBS doctor. So she had called me up, and she was very with me. She was very angry because she's saying, how can you, do this to yourself, to your family, to your kids? How can you think about yourself, thinking that, okay, I'm not going to do it. So you at least get the surgery done. So then you can, think of something later. And as people all say that, first आप doctor जो बोल रहे वो कर लो, उसके बाद आप naturopathy nutrition करते रहो. But it's so very important for one to understand that you cannot afford to do that. You cannot put that kind of all. See, as I keep telling everybody, I go by that. What is cancer? What is, see, basically, once you understand what is cancer is like if you have a kitchen platform and there's a lot of filth accumulated in the platform, so then there will be mosquitoes and worms and cockroaches and all which have entered your kitchen now. So now if somebody comes, they'll say, oh my god, your kitchen is full of pests. But the pests are not actually there because of the kitchen. It's because of the filth which is accumulated. In fact, they are trying to eat the filth in their own way and reduce it. So once you clean the filth, so automatically there is no need for that those pests to be there. So similarly, the body creates cancer cells when there's a lot of waste accumulated or a lot of acid level increase in the body. Cancer cells feed on acidity. So it is trying to eat it and secure it and maybe put it into a lump or tumor, as they say.
Put
But
it in.
and now what we do the biopsy, then we do the surgery, and then they'll say cancer has spread, but the body didn't do it. It's we who did it. So once you know that what is cancer cells are actually trying to save your life, because if it wouldn't be for that, it would have spread all over the body, and within a few hours, due to extreme acidosis, multi-organ failure would have happened and person would have gone. So thank God, because of the cancer, we are surviving. So once you know that, you really send love and blessings. Okay, you saved my life. So now it's up to me. How do I clean my body? Basically, we just need to detoxify and don't put in more toxins. Now, once we realize what is chemotherapy, I'll just tell in short. If anybody wants, they can research. In fact, I encourage everybody, don't do what I'm saying. Don't listen to me. Do your own research, because when you do your own research, everything starts making sense. Don't go with the words of your doctor, or don't listen to what I'm saying. Study for yourself, then you'll know what is the truth. Your automatically your guide, spiritual guide, or yourself, you can understand what's the truth on your own. So once you know that the cancer cells are there and they have come here to protect you, you will not want to go in for anything like this. So that's what I told my friend, that this is something I've chosen to do, and I know that whatever I'm doing doesn't make sense to you. So don't agree with that, but don't just send prayers in my direction. Have faith in my decision, and don't send worries or fears, because those are negative vibes. That's all I ask of anybody, whoever used to worry for me, whatever I'm doing is wrong and all that. So then after 6 months, she comes back in December 2016. She says, no, I've studied a lot, I've researched a lot, and she's an MBBS doctor. So she found out that she's saying, no, if ever I was diagnosed like you, I would do the exact same thing. So that was a booster, moral booster for me. Okay, allopath is saying that. And she gave me the number of a homeopath, which I also wanted to try from the beginning. So I did homeopathy also for December 2016 to December 2018. 2 years I did homeopathy also. Of course, my basic foundation of any healing was my diet. I was always very high raw. And as I said, I drank 6 glasses of carrot juice. I used to drink Karela juice, beetroot juice, not beetroot juice, wheatgrass juice, then bitter apricot kernel, papaya leaf juice, and a lot of stuff. I used to take a whole lemon, grind it in the mixture and drink it. I used to do a lot of stuff whole day happily, and I was working full time. I never missed a single day of workout or work. So looking at me, I mean, till now, so nobody will come to know, about the cancer diagnosis, because if like people say, okay, you were suffering from cancer. I never suffered, not a single day. So there was no suffering at all. It's when you go in the conventional way, then it's the actual, because it's the toxins which is entering your body. Once, what is chemotherapy? As I was saying that time, it is Hitler used to use mustard gas to kill the Jews. So it's the same kind. It's trying to kill the cancer cells in the body. The mustard gas is given inside in the form of chemo. And then it is trying to kill the cancer cells, but it cannot distinguish between healthy and cancer cells. And it can, it's like killing a mosquito. You are throwing an atom bomb at a building. Whether the mosquito has died or not, you're not aware, but the whole building has crashed. So basically, as I said, you need your body's immune system. You need to boost your body's immune system, because at that time, the waste has accumulated. You need to detoxify and improve your health. And at that time, you cannot afford to destroy your body's immune system. And that's what chemo does. So for me, it was absolutely clear. So she told me, my doctor friend who was agreed with me later, she told me about a homeopath. And I went and took his medicines too. So I did naturopathy, I did homeopathy. And then I went on to Nature Cure when I met Dr. Arun Sharma. So that's how I learned about Nature Cure and all its modalities. That gave me more freedom. As you yourself are aware about the principles of Nature Cure. And
it is a beautiful journey indeed to be on Nature Cure. That's true.
Because the biggest tool which I got is don't check your body, check your habits. So I used to do ultrasound, and the last ultrasound which I did in December 2018, I didn't do any PET scan for everybody. Dr. Archana is asking total how many months to get clear of the swelling. See, as all know, I was diagnosed in May 2016. Then I did ultrasound, and then that time, so of course, it was a biopsy and all that. And then I did. There was another test which I had to go all the way to Chennai, a thermogram, which is a very safe and non-invasive test. It's like a camera which catches the heat waves in your body. So I went and did that. I had to go all the way to Chennai. It's a very cheap test, but it's not allowed anywhere here because of whatever, the pharma mafia. So then I clicked, it was there, and then the thermogram showed that there is no spreading of any cancer cells. So then I was encouraged. That was in 2016 only, I think so, August I did it. Then I went and did the ultrasounds. So slowly, and then when I did the ultrasound, I did not take any of my old tests. I did not carry the biopsy report, nor the earlier mammograms. When I went to another doctor, and I told her I want to do an ultrasound for the lump which is there in the breast. So she said, fine, she did it. She said, it doesn't look so good. Can I do a biopsy? I told her, no, it's okay, I'm fine. I did not tell her the story. Then after 2 months again, when I went out to her, then she said, it doesn't look good. It has grown in size. I want to do a biopsy right away. I said, it's fine. I'm doing something. What are you doing? I said, I'm doing naturopathy and I'm following a whole food plant-based lifestyle. She had not heard these words. She said, okay, but the lump has grown. So it doesn't look good at all. I want to do a biopsy. I said, fine, just give me some more time. Then again, after 2 months, I went to her. I think so this was in October or November 2016. So that time she said, just tell me what you're doing, because the lump has reduced in half. What have you been doing? So that's when I sat and I, sat with her and I told her, see, she's saying I could make out it's definitely cancerous, and you're looking so cool. And you are not getting scared when I'm telling you it's not looking good. Why are you not agreeing for the biopsy? I said, no, actually the entire journey was already over. I've done the biopsy. I know the result. but this is what I've chosen. So she was very cooperative, and she was in fact very encouraging for an allopath and for a radiologist in that segment. But she was very encouraging. In fact, she also has recommended me to few of her patients, because it's nice to see somebody encouraging you like this. So that's when I told her the whole story. And after that, I kept because the homeopath used to insist for the tests. Otherwise, I am not a kind of person who will go in for tests on my own. But he used to say, no, I need to see the reports and I will, give the medicine accordingly. So the last in 2018, the lump size had really reduced and it had become calcified, basically like a stone. It's no longer malignant. And after that, I met Dr. Arun Sharma, which says, don't check your body, check your habits. So for me, the lump is still there. I can feel it. It's not grown. It's not going to grow. I know it. And it is already calcified. That is the state right now. And as I say, I feel full of health, and I keep repeating my mantra as I'm full of health. So focus is every day on improving my health and focusing on only that part, not that aspect. So it was never about any disease. It's always about improving health. So that could you got the answer?
So you never had any pain, or did you have any pain during that time?
No, there was no pain. There was no pain because I don't know. They say in cancerous lumps there is no pain or something. I really don't know. But after the biopsy also there was no pain. And luckily, I'm really blessed. The biopsy did not go wrong, because I've heard cases that the biopsy, could spread the cancer and has gone wrong. So I did not know at that time, but I definitely tell people that don't go in for the biopsy. You really don't need to mess with it. Body has already sealed it. Now focus on improving, focus on detoxifying. So somebody is asking, who is your homeopath? My homeopath, who I went to in 2016 to 2018, was Dr. Sailesh Deshpande in Pune, and he is the cancer specialist. So that's whom I went to. And
there is somebody who's
that's what
asking,
the focus was only on improving health.
can you share your diet and workout? And then there's another question. What about tea and coffee? Did you leave that too?
I was never a tea or coffee drinker. So for me, that was never an issue. I never drank. So yes, tea and coffee is highly acidic. That's something one has to immediately leave. And in Nature Cure, the diet is very, very simple. So as I was saying, once I met Dr. Arun Sharma, the healing became even more simpler. There was so much more I was doing. And I didn't need to do all that anymore. I used to drink 6 glasses, I used to drink everything healthy, eat everything healthy, but then my body was all the time digesting instead of, maybe healing or resting. So now what happened after I met Dr. Arun Sharma, I understood about the Nature Cure diet and of course all the elements of Mother Nature. It became so simple. Diet is so easy. It's like morning you have that diluted vegetable juice. Then after around 2 hours, you have your mono fruit breakfast, which is absolutely yummy, whatever season. Like today I had custard apple, loved it. And afternoon you have your salad. And then evening you have your cooked meal. So it's so simple and very easy to digest, and maza aa jata hai karne mein. So that's how it went in. And exercise, yes, in the beginning, 2016 to I think so 2018 or even more, I continued doing weight training and cardio and all at the gym, because that's what I used to do. And I used to do alternate days yoga too. So then I climb stairs. I used to do a lot of different kinds of workout, whatever. Like rainy season, I cannot go out in the garden. I run. I love to run, because running, as Dr. Arun Sharma is saying, is the best exercise. You cannot be cheating. You are either running or you're not. So you cannot, cheat yourself too. So I run. Now I run around half an hour, then I do yoga, and then I do a lot of freehand exercises like jumping jacks, skipping, and all that. Pranayam, and what else? I mean, a lot of this yoga basically, and then I do the sunbathing and spine bath and all that of the Nature Cure part. So workout is fun. It's something I enjoy.
We have a few more questions. Somebody's asking for Dr. Sailesh Deshpande's number. And then there's another one. Are we supposed to leave sweets as well?
I do have sweets. I have besan ka halwa and nariyal ke laddu. So, but this is all made of dates. I don't have jaggery. So, besan ka halwa, I take moong dal. I know in Nature Cure you're not supposed to have so much of dals, but yes, I do have moong dal. And the besan is made of moong dal because it's the better dal as compared to chana dal. So I roast it. Everything is earthen vessels. All my food is cooked in earthen vessels, mitti ke bartan, and it's roasted. Then I add the date paste to it and make the besan ke ka halwa or laddus, whatever. Similarly, coconut laddus are very easy. You just grind the coconut and you mix the date paste, or grind it together and just make laddus. Ho gaya coconut laddus. So there's lots of sweets we can have, and yes, oil free, because oil is something which does not have any nutrition. So there is only, it's just plain fat. There is no fiber, no nutrition at all. So there is my food. In fact, my whole family is extended family's food is not cooked with oil, but that doesn't mean it's not tasty. Food can be very tasty without oil. So I use coconut if in the food, or maybe some people. I mean, for me, I avoid cashews and peanuts. These are the two nuts I completely avoid because I had followed Chris Beat Cancer, and he says these two nuts it's better to avoid because it can cause fungus in the body, which we don't want. So anyway, I was never a big fan of these two. So cashews and peanuts I completely avoid. So for me, I have coconut in my food. And see, more than 5 years, there's no oil, a drop of oil in my
Intake.
food. I mean, the kind of oil, but my skin is extremely oily. So even if you're having fruits, and I know so many people who are fruitarians, and there's no lack of any oil or something, that's basically just a thought which is given. But our natural food which is grown, I mean, that's the God's gift, wahi prasad hai. So usme enough, all the nutrition is there. You don't need anything excess.
Correct, correct. So Nisha also has a YouTube channel. It's called Cancer Naturally Healing, right?
Right.
You can look it up. She has put up all the videos there. But I was wondering, you mentioned Atma Tattva.
Yes.
So could you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yeah. See, for me, Atma Tattva it's the sixth element in Mother Nature. We have Akash Tattva, Vayu Tattva, Agni Tattva, Jal, and Prithvi. Now, Atma Tattva is the sixth element in naturopathy, we call it. But for me, it's the most important element. Because, see, after all, we are all energy beings, very, very, very powerful energy beings. And as I said at the beginning, the world's best healer is nobody else but we ourselves. So, but there's one more video, mind is the real healer, is also another video which I tell everybody to believe in that. Because, see, there's a book which I mention everybody to read, Radical Remission. This book has been written by a medical journalist who was a journalist, but she found many people who have healed from cancer naturally. But none of the doctors were really interested in finding out more and how. They all used to say, very good, keep it up, bye. So then she started writing a book, and it took her 10 years to write the book. So then she found out that there are 9 commonalities which all people who have healed from cancer naturally are, follow these 9 commonalities. Out of the 9, 2 are physical. One is, of course, change of diet. And second one, it will be herbs and supplements. So basically, like for me, I took Tulsi Bel Patta juice as natural chemo. Somebody else might take Ayurveda, somebody Tibetan medicine, Chinese traditional medicine, or Unani, or whatever, homeopathy and all that. But these are the 2 things which we can do physically. The rest 7 commonalities are only to do with the mind. So mind is so much more powerful than what we can do physically. So that what basically comes in is the Atma Tattva. Now Atma Tattva is something, if we all in different religions and all, we know that there's a soul, energy, Atma, whatever word we might call it. So we are, once we decide, like happiness also, I always say happiness is a decision. We choose, okay, whatever we decide on. So we focus, okay, this is what we have chosen. As I said, my mantra is I'm full of health. Once we keep repeating on that, we keep focusing on health instead of any disease. So we are always healthy. I mean, we're thinking about health all the time. So out of the 7 commonalities which I remember are 3. One is not having the fear of death. So this was one commonality which everybody had, that okay, we cannot have the fear of death. We are, let's, death तो होना ही है, वो तो आएगा ही, सबको आना है, आएंगे जाएंगे, वो तो है, common है. But let us focus on life. So not having the fear of death was one which I can remember. And another one is, even if there is not no fear of death, but having the extreme will to live. तो मुझे तो जीना है, एक बार मुझे जीना है. Okay, somebody is asking, how did you get over the fear of death? Okay, now this is a personal story, because in 2013, I have a very young cousin brother. He was only 27, and badminton player, healthy, absolutely fine. And all of a sudden, one day he stopped breathing, and we lost him. So that was a very, big. Of course, it was very traumatizing for our whole family. But then it was also a realization that the book, The Laws of the Spirit World, helped us a lot. Then we realized that Earth is a school. We all come here to take our different lessons, our different tests for our own spiritual growth. So once we know that Earth is a school, we are all going to go back to our real home. So then, anyway, nobody likes school so much. So when we're going to go back to our real home, then there's no fear of death. And we've come here to take our different kinds of tests and training for our soul. So as I say, cancer diagnosis so is like a PhD. हम PhD करने आए हैं. तो PhD अगर करने आए तो we are capable ना, हम लोग नहीं choose किया है. Before we take birth, we choose our own tests and training. So once we choose it and we know that we can do this, so why is it going to be so fearful? So there is no fear for death at all. So not having the fear of death, having the extreme will to live is also one of this. And extreme will to live is like I keep saying, मुझे तो जीना है, मैं तो 100 साल जीऊंगी, that kind of. अभी I don't know how long, but still, that जीना का enthusiasm should be there. So everything becomes very simple actually. And one which I can remember is trusting your own gut feeling. We are all guided. We all are guided by our spirit guides, by God, and we know when something is wrong. We know it, but we have forgotten and we don't trust our own instinct. We question and we believe in the so-called authority. But the best authority over our own body is we. So once we start trusting ourselves, our own gut feeling, it becomes very, very easier. So this is what I recommend everybody to read, The Radical Remission. But also I tell this, that see, we are all human beings, and yet we are not God as yet. So we should not worry so much if there are sometimes some negative thoughts also. If negative thoughts come in, ठीक है, हम लोग अपना ही शरीर में है, अपना ही body है, we are in control. Mentally just take a duster and rewrite those negative thoughts with 3 positive thoughts. So it becomes, okay, ठीक है, we don't need to focus, अरे बाप रे ये क्यों सोच लिया, am I going to manifest that, why did I think of that. See, natural है, हम लोग को कभी भी fear, doubt, negative thoughts आ सकता है, but focus नहीं करो, उसको replace कर दो 3 positive thoughts से, बस simple, just and keep yourself busy. And as Dr. Arun Sharma also keeps saying that use your innate creative ability and passion in such kind of activities which you can use to help others. Once you start doing that, automatically your own growth becomes easier, your spiritual growth, your physical growth, your awakening comes, then you are more focused on helping others than you think about yourself. And it just does not become important anymore. Like I tell everybody, cancer diagnosis को भी तुम सर्दी खांसी जैसे सोच लो ना, उसको importance ही मत दो, it will not be important any longer. So that is the way I go about that, उसको कुछ भी importance मत दो, it will not be important. And then so Atma Tattva for me is the most important, the
Element.
mind is the real healer, is for me is very much more important what you can actually physically do.
Yeah. So, what all did you incorporate in your life at that point of time?
I did a lot of interesting things. As I said, of course, I changed my diet radically. In the beginning, I went raw. I completely went raw, but that was for a period of 1 month. Then slowly, I did introduce cooked food again, and but I continued with the glasses of carrot juice. I did naturopathy, the tulsi and bel patta juice. I used to do coffee enemas. And I also went for past life regression because when I was born with a deep cut, like a stitch like cut around the left side of the chest. So I always used to think, in my fact, my mom used to tell me, like, kahin pe heart failure ho gaya, surgery went wrong, and mujhe meri beti mil gayi. So I always used to think it was related to heart. Mujhe pata nahi tha where's the heart ka position. Now I know. So I used to then Dr. Rashmi Menon also does a lot of psycho, those kind of analysis and all that kind of healing. So I was very interested in doing that. So I went to her and I said, I want to go to that particular life where I can find out, maybe it's related to the heart. Or she said, no, it could be related to the breast. So I did that. Of course, I didn't get my answer. But then I think maybe in some previous life, I must have gone in for a surgery and it didn't go well, and then I was born again, and maybe I'm taking this lesson. So thank God, in this life hopefully I've learned this lesson, and especially about stopping non-veg and milk products, because that is something I'm really grateful for. Because if I wouldn't have, I would have continued living my life worse than terrorists, I say, because terrorists kill, but I used to kill and eat them too. So thank God I was diagnosed with cancer for learning that lesson. So I did a lot of things, and it was fun. I did trampoline, rebounding, as they call in the cancer world. That if we do that, because we have a body's lymphatic system, which is basically the body's drainage system. Doctors suggest we should not take raw things. That is because in chemotherapy, they advise not to take a raw diet because, as they say, the body's immune system is destroyed, and then they get scared that if you put anything raw, then any infection can come in. But I don't agree with that, because it makes no sense to me. You need only a raw, alive, living food can give you that kind of nutrition to heal your body. I mean, you need to focus on improving health. Once you start focusing on yes, coffee enemas, I don't do that anymore. I did all that before. I did nature cure. Somebody asked me, so I'm answering that. So I don't do coffee enemas anymore. In nature cure, we follow the tattvas: Akash, Vayu, Agni, Jal, Prithvi. I'll tell them all in short. Akash is something, basically is fasting. It is there in all religions. So why so much importance? Akash Tattva is the most supreme Tattva, the subtlest food. This is also food. You are fasting, but you're actually feasting on ether. Why is it so important? In Hinduism, especially Ekadashi and Ramzan and all that, so much importance is given to Akash Tattva, is because when you're actually fasting, you're giving your body a rest. Body does not need to focus on digestion. So at that time, body can focus on cleansing and detoxifying. So this is the best food you can give your body. It's the Sarva Pratham and it's the Sarva Shresht Tattva. It's so important. The best medicine you can give. So Akash Tattva is something I personally do Monday fasting. Monday is, and I, from past 2 years, I've been doing dry fasting because I find that easier and more fun to do. Basically, I'm not even drinking water, Nirjala. So I start the fast on Sunday night and I break it on Tuesday morning. So that almost is around 36 hours of fasting. And I also do Ekadashi fasting because that's something also I look forward to, because it's just like twice in a month. So it's like 6 days in a month. That's all I'm fasting. So this is something which I do. And Vayu Tattva focuses on pranayam and exercise. Is basically movement. So we are meant to move. We are meant to move around. We cannot be, sitting in one place. So whatever form of exercise one enjoys, the one should do that. As I said, I do running. I do a lot of freehand jumping jacks, and I love yoga, because yoga can't be counted as an exercise. It's like a basic form of lifestyle. And I do pranayam. I love to do anulom vilom is something which I do, and you can really focus on your breath and enjoy it. बहुत मजा आता है. And Agni Tattva, sunlight, is the working hospital for your body. It's pure medicine. If one can actually get space and privacy, one should directly expose the whole body, front side 15 minutes, back side 15 minutes, cover the head with a wet towel, And it is, you really are doing nothing, but you're letting the sun work on you. And there is this Arun Brahman Chikitsa also of Dr. Arun Sharma, solar vibrations, which he uses a magnifying glass, a green wet leaf, and if you keep it on the particular focus jahan pe lump hai or whatever, you can use the solar vibrations and use the Arun Brahman Chikitsa. If you want, I can share the link of the video later. You can put it up here. And it's sunlight, as I said, is a pure medicine. One should definitely go in for that. And then comes Jal Tattva. Jal Tattva mein there is this tona, which is basically tonic enema, which is only using 150 or 200, 250 ml of water. It's not like how coffee enemas are using 1 liter, and that's kind of violent for your body. So this is a non-violent enema. It's only 150, 200 or 250 ml max water. And it is used to basically trigger the intestines to work on its own. So it's toning of intestines. And this is something, initially you have to do it 15 days. First 15 days, you have to do it twice a day, morning and evening. After 15 days are up, then you have to do it once a day for 1 week. Then you have to do alternate days. Then you have to do twice a week. And lastly, once a week. And if that once a week is done on the day of the fasting, it is fantastic because you're anyway detoxifying, and then you're using the tonic enema to cleanse your intestines even further. So it is, you're totally free, of all the toxins, and you feel great. You really feel great. You feel so energetic. You feel wonderful, and even though you're fasting, but you glow on that day. So, and there's a lot of cold wet packs you can use, cold water shower. So I'll just, in short, explain about cold wet pack. If you take a cotton cloth and you wet it in tap water, and if there's any place which is hurting, or even the abdomen, if you're feeling it's not digested, you can just wrap your body with a cold wet pack. So what happens then, the body is confused. The whole body is actually having one temperature. Now one particular part has become cold. So the cold blood rushes to the warm blood, and the warm blood rushes to the cold, because it wants to maintain one temperature. And that's what happens. Blood circulation increases due to that, and toxins get flushed out. So it's such a simple technique, but very, very effective. Or this is something which I also, if I feel, I sometimes do put a cold wet pack on where the breast lump is. And cold water shower, again, same thought process, that you take a cold water shower and you let the blood circulation increase, and toxins get flushed out. Last is Prithvi Tattva. Now in Prithvi Tattva is, yeah, I covered all. The Prithvi Tattva is so simple, as I explained about the Nature Cure diet. One of the most important things of Prithvi Tattva is, one thing we have to remember is how do you eat the food? Because it's so very important not only to eat what is right, but also to know how to eat that food rightly. So chew your liquids and drink your solids. So liquid अगर आप ले रहे हो तो उसको गटागट नहीं पीना है, उसको मुंह में रखना है, swirl it around, mix it with the saliva, and then slowly swallow it. So why so important? Because our saliva is very, very potent and very, very powerful, very alkaline. So if we know that, if you see any animals also, if they're hurt, they're all the time licking themselves, because they know that saliva has the power to heal. So that's why, in fact, they say if you put your poison also in your mouth, and then you mix it with the saliva and keep it in the mouth, swirl it, and then slowly drink it, the poison will also not have any effect. But nobody is, of course, going to try that out, please. So that is the power of our saliva. So similarly, when we are eating and chewing our solid food, so we have to drink our solid, meaning we have to chew it well, and then make it into a paste, mix it with the saliva, and then slowly swallow it. A simpler method to do that, actually practically, is when you take your first morsel of food inside, so don't keep the next morsel ready. Keep chewing it so well, so till the time then that goes in, and then you take the next morsel ready. Normally what happens, you're eating and you're eating and you're eating. So then you're all the time the morsel is ready, but don't keep the morsel ready. You just keep your hand aside, focus on chewing your food, look around, be happy, and then mindful eating, as they say, and then you take the second morsel once you're done with your chewing and your swallowing. So this is one part of Prithvi Tattva. And of course, the food, as I explained, morning is then diluted vegetable juice. Why diluted? You can dilute it with coconut water or normal water, because then the surface area of the liquid increases and becomes more easy for the body to accept it and absorb it. And more, the juice is a very high alkaline juice. You're either taking the durva grass juice or the banana stem juice, or you're taking ashgard juice. I also do take carrot juice, even though it's not there in the nature cure, but yes, I do take the carrot juice also sometimes. And this is the way I drink it. And one kind of fruit. This is also very simple and actually easy to do if you're choosing to have one kind of fruit. And why? Because as Dr. Arun Sharma says, that fruits are also acidic. So it's better not to mix the acidic food. So it's better to have one kind. If you're choosing to have one kind, then you have the next fruit the other day. But if one wants to only mix, then you have to mix with only sweet fruits. Don't mix sweet and sour fruits. And also melons are not to be mixed ever with any other kind of fruit, because they're very easy to digest. And it
One
will,
type of melon at one time.
yes, yes, very, very important for that. You cannot mix melons with any other melon also, or any other fruit also. It has to be, had separately. So if one has to have a watermelon with the seeds, please have it with the seeds, of course, organic. Jitna ho sake, buy everything organic and chew it well. Otherwise, you can even blend it into a nice watermelon juice, and of course, drink it the way you're supposed to, with the fiber, with the seeds and all that. And then after 20 minutes or 30 minutes, then maybe if you wish, you can have any other kind of fruit, but don't mix it. And afternoon is the salad. The dressing is also very simple. I don't have any dressings. No salt and all is required. You just need to have coconut. Just grate the coconut and put dhania patta and tomatoes and make it very yummy. I mean, that's how it becomes yummy actually. With just the coconut will make it little sweet.
Yes.
Tomato will give its own flavoring. Dhania patta will give its own flavoring.
And it's nice and juicy. It's really
very
nice and
very
juicy.
nice. In fact, I look
And
forward to
especially
the salad lunch, because that's the most important meal.
true.
It's the most important meal. You
And
cannot
the
miss
best
that.
part is you change the herbs, like you put in pudina one day, you put in coriander, and the flavor changes with that. So it's
Right,
really
right.
nice.
So this is and then evening cooked meal. For me, the cooked meal, I don't have rice and wheat or jawar bajri. I have millets. That is Dr. Khaderwali's millets. These are the 5 golden millets. Kodo millet, brown top millet.
Proso
Yes,
millet, little millet.
yes.
Yeah.
So these are the 5 golden millets which I have. Foxtail millet is also, I think, so one of them. So what happens with these millets? They are very, very high in fiber. So it can be compared to a vegetable too. And of course, there's a method of cooking. You need to soak it for at least 5 to 6 hours before you can cook it. What I do, as I said, I cook all my food in mitti ke bartan. So I soak it also in the mitti ke bartan. You have to cook it in the same water. Just wash it once, of course, buy the whole grain without polishing, unpolished whole millet, and then wash it just once so that you don't wash away all the nutrition. And then you keep it, and then you cook it in the same water, and then you have to have the millet. So the portion is, it's suppose 1 katori of the millet, so it will be 3 katoris of vegetables. So more of vegetables. Even if you're making a millet roti, then you have to, half will be the flour and half will be the vegetables, which have to be added to the flour, and then you have to make it into a dough, and then you can make your rotis. But adding more vegetables is so much more important. And yes, of course, as I said, it's cooked without oil. But without oil does not mean, because oil does not have any taste. If you take a spoon of oil, there's absolutely zero taste.
True.
One more thing is very important in the Prithvi Tattva, is to understand that our skin is our biggest organ. So whatever we are applying to our body should be totally chemical free. So no soaps, no, I don't apply any soap. I use besan and haldi to take a bath. I take the natural scrubber jo rehta hai na, the dried vegetable. You dip it into the besan and haldi powder, and I rub my body. And what else? There should be no air fresheners, no deodorants, no perfumes, no mosquito repellents. All that is just not needed. You can use a lot of healthy stuff. I mean, natural stuff. If you have mosquitoes also, you can take a neem leaf and all that. So a lot of stuff which you can do. And even the liquid dishwashing liquid has to be chemical free, the floor cleaner. Why so much? Because at that time you're really boosting your immune system. You cannot, put a lot of chemicals and again ask your body to
Body to
detoxify
fight it.
even further. So just support your body by giving the best possible organic natural stuff, and you will get it. I mean, even the toothpaste is something which be very careful, because there's a lot of fluoride and sugar and so many chemicals which you just don't want inside your body. So for me, I use haldi and rock salt and soda. This is the powder which I use. You can use charcoal, and a lot of other natural stuff is there available which one can
And
use.
cinnamon and turmeric together,
Right.
and with salt.
Correct. And so many alternatives are there. So once we start researching on that, you can do a lot of stuff. And here I'll speak about makeup too, because the picture which you circulated had me putting a lipstick. So somebody had commented that, okay, somebody wearing lipstick and makeup cannot be talking about natural healing. So for everybody's information, I have given up on lipstick only from this year. I used to buy organic lipsticks and natural lipsticks and a lot of, thinking it's good. And because lipstick was something I was I used to love it for myself. But then, of course, even though they were organic, supposedly natural, but I knew at the bottom of my heart, it won't be so much, natural. So from this year, I've given up on lipsticks completely. And if you see I don't know if you can make out why my cheeks look pink. So this is not a blush on or not a rouge. What I do nowadays, I just take a beetroot, cut a thin slice out of it, fold it, and just rub my cheeks, and it stays whole day red.
Wow.
This is something which is so simple. You can easily do it. So this is another thing how we can boost our body's system and look good and feel good also about ourselves. So
actually, I made a lipstick. I used to make it in ghee earlier, but now I do the same thing in coconut oil. Though I'm not
okay.
wearing one like one of those right now, but yeah, you put beetroot, take out beetroot juice, and then you mix it with coconut oil, and you just apply it on the lips, and it gives the same effect as a lipstick.
Oh wow, I'll try that too. This is something great. So this is also, I wanted to point out that yes, the skin is the biggest organ, and this is also which we can use in our Prithvi Tattva. And yes, in the Prithvi Tattva, I also speak about no microwaves, no aluminum vessels, please, because they are very toxic again. Microwave gives radiation, which we don't want in our food. So if somebody wants, you can, if you want to bake a cake or, make onion pakoras and all that, also you can use OTG that way if you want to really have it. And I do have cakes and all sometimes, and but no microwaves and no OTG, no aluminum. If you wish, you can cook your food in steel, but best is mitti ke bartan. उसका तो जवाब ही नहीं है.
Do you use garlic and onion and everything?
I do use garlic and onion, but not so much. Some of the dishes, yes, because as I said, my food is cooked together with my family. So, but not in all the dishes. So we are not using in all the dishes, but yes, some of the dishes, yes. So I'm still using garlic and onion too.
True. So we'll take the questions now. Do you do any enemas?
Tonic enema. Yeah, as I said, spoke about toners. I do it on the Monday, the day I'm fasting. So it's just like 200 or 250 ml of water max. That's what I do. It's absolutely non-violent, and you feel great. On the day of the fasting, it's advised to do that so that you clear your intestines completely.
Correct. How much gap should be there between meals? Someone suggested me to eat after every hour.
That's too much of eating actually. Then what happens? You're taxing your digestive system. And body is, I used to do that, as I said earlier, I used to do a lot of, regarding eating every hour is very bad for your body, because it's so difficult that the body has to, even if it's healthy, but then the body is all the time digesting and digesting and digesting, because that is so important. Agar wo nahi digest kare, so that will turn poison, because the undigested matter will then stay in the system and rot. That's why agar healing chalu bhi hai, but आपने फिर कुछ खा लिया. So then the body has to stop the healing, come back to digesting it,
Digestion.
because it's so important. If it doesn't, then it's even going to become worse. So that is the reason one has to focus only when you're just focus on these 4 meals, and it's easier on your body. It's very simple for your body to heal, and it's you don't feel hungry. Really, you don't feel hungry. I mean, once one starts trying this out, eating, chewing in the right manner, you feel perfectly full. You feel more healthier and happier.
I
Once,
agree.
Mhm.
I agree. Where do you get chemical-free mitti bhartan?
I buy it from my local vendor here only. So you have to find out actually.
Darshana is asking, can you speak about the pressure cooker?
Yeah. Pressure cooker is still something I have not been able to completely get rid of. I'm still, yes, sometimes using the steel pressure cooker, but I do plan to buy soon a mitti cool pressure cooker made of mitti ka bartan. I had bought it, but it didn't work out. But again, I'm going to buy one and try it out. So steel pressure cooker, but cooking in a pressure cooker is definitely not advised. Because in a pressure cooker, the food actually breaks. And there was a video which I had seen of Rajiv Dikshit ji, which says that when the food is cooked in a pressure cooker, the nutrition which remains is hardly 7%. And when food is cooked in a mitti ke bartan, 97 or 93% of the food is
Nutrition is
the
retained.
nutrition is still retained, and it remains alkaline, which is so important because once everybody says that once you cook the food, it becomes acidic. But with the mitti ke bartan, when you cook it, it remains alkaline. That's what his studies were, which they did it in a lab.
Correct.
So that's why, but pressure cooker cooking is definitely not advised. But yes, sometimes when chole and rajma is cooked for family, I'm still using the pressure cooker. But otherwise, no cooking in pressure cooker at all.
Any particular advice, especially for youngsters, to take in addition in food, like in addition to tulsi and bel patta, to prevent cancer in life?
No, that is not to be taken at all. Even tulsi and bel patta is not to be taken, because why do you need any such kind of medicine when food and your natural elements is the real medicine? That was given to me because the cancer diagnosis came. So one has to focus on just maintaining health and improving health, not take any, thinking कि ये बाहर का ये चीज मैं डालूंगी उससे health बढ़ेगा. मतलब any Ayurvedic medicine or naturopathy medicine or homeopathy is not really needed. Once you start focusing on improving your own body's health, focus on detoxifying, focus on not putting more toxins in the body, and just living your life as best possible, and trying to help others, and find your own passion. So there's no need to have any kind of even alternative medicine as such to improve health. You can just focus on food being the real medicine. So food includes fasting. These are the subtlest foods, fasting, air, I mean the what's that,
The Vayu
space
Tattva.
element, yeah, the space
Ether.
element, the air, the fire, the water, and the earth. Earth is the gross food, I mean the actual food which we can see, but the others are also subtle foods. So those are the foods which also they are more important than the actual physical foods. So once we focus on improving health in Nature Cure, the 3 important things which I learned was, one is don't check your body, check your habits, chew your liquids and drink your solids. And it's not about curing diseases, it's only about improving health. So once you are understanding that you are not going to cure any disease, because every person has some or the other percentage of health. Even a person who's completely bedridden has some percentage of health, can raise their hands, can move their fingers, legs, and all that. So our focus will be to improve that health. Okay, how can I make the person even more healthier? How can he be better or she be better the next day? So focus is on improving health. Okay, how do you improve health? By detoxifying, by focusing on these elements. So the focus is not on curing disease. Disease automatically will go. Diseases are our friends. The disease has come as a learning for us that we need to focus on improving our health. Once we do that, there's no disease left anymore. Here, can I speak about acute diseases?
Yes, please do. And also I was going to tell you that subtler the element, better the health. That is
Definitely.
very important in Nature Cure, as we all learn.
And actually, I had done a 5-day fast also long back. I mean, after the diagnosis. And after 5 days, I mean, I was looking so good. Everybody,
Yeah, totally.
yeah, and there was no weakness, nothing. So people could not believe I fasted for 5 days. And for me also, I felt thrilled because, as I said, I've come from the kind of life and the food and then I was on fasting. So it was, but yes, it's very much more important to know how to break a fast.
Yes.
It's as they say, any fool can also fast, but only a wise person knows how to break a fast. So breaking of a fast is very important, because whatever duration of fast you've taken, half the duration of the fast should be only on liquids, and then slowly go on to the raw solids. Then maybe slowly you can introduce the cooked vegetable. My life, I was into natural, I was doing a lot of natural stuff and all that, but this kind of made my healing even more simpler. And I could make out that the healing need not be so complicated, that you need to do this morning to night, has to do so many things, but itna karne ki zarurat hi nahi hai. Body can heal on its own with the lesser amount, and mind is free and bahut maza aata hai. It has to be a fun journey. One has to understand कि one need not feel अरे बाप रे मुझे ये खाना पड़ रहा है and एकदम दुखी. जो भी आप ले रहे हो, खा रहे हो, मजे से खाओ, खुशी से खाओ. That's the God's gift.
Gratitude के
प्रसाद.
साथ खाओ.
True. And it shouldn't feel like a punishment. It's not. In fact, it's the blessing. तो मजे से जो भी आप कर रहे हो करो, and fun. It has to have fun in life.
True.
So I wanted to speak about the acute diseases. So
yes,
shall I
please
speak?
do.
So acute diseases are something which basically everybody, especially in these times, are very scared of. What are acute diseases? Is basically cold, cough, fever, loose motions, headaches, vomiting, skin eruptions are the very basic acute diseases which the body gets. Now, what does acute diseases mean? It means that the body is trying to detoxify, body is trying to throw away the toxins with the help of these acute diseases. For an example, now suppose we feel cold, cough, अरे बाप रे सर्दी खांसी आ गया, but that is the body's method of detoxifying. Like if I get मेरे आंख में कचरा जाता है, there's some dirt entered my eyes. Now my eyes will start watering. Now the watering of the eyes is not a disease. It is the body's attempt to throw away the waste which has entered the eye. Similarly, when we get cold, cough, fever, loose motions, vomiting, headaches, stomach disorders, or skin eruptions, that is not a disease. That is basically body trying to detoxify. At that time, once we understand what is that is the method of the body trying to detoxify, we should not suppress it. Any kind of allopathic drugs or gland extracts or vaccines or all that kind, what happens then? It stays. Jo toxins nikal raha tha, that stays in the body, and that stays and can turn into a chronic disease which we don't want, like a heart ailment or a diabetes or asthma or cancer or something, which is something we don't want. So we should be grateful that the body has the ability to get these acute diseases, and a body has the ability to detoxify on its own. So whenever you have a fever or a cold cough, be very happy कि thank God ये आया, and बस simple है, fasting कर लो, कुछ भी करने की जरूरत नहीं है. It's so simple, just fast. And one day में ठीक हो जाता है, अगर you have that kind of mindset के ठीक हो जाता है, otherwise 2-3 days में निकल जाता है. And automatically body is not hungry. When body gets a fever, cold cough, body is not at all hungry at that time. So fasting is the easiest method to heal from all these acute diseases. So one should know that this is something. Fever also, now people get so scared of fever. Now, if for an example, I'll give you, if you're getting bad water in your house, like in Mumbai during the rains, the pani kabhi kharab aata hai. So what people do, they boil the water. How do they boil it? They just don't put the water on the gas and they switch it on and switch it off. No, you switch it on, you let the water heat, then you let it boil, and even once it starts boiling, you don't switch it off. You let it boil for 20 minutes. Once it boils for 20 minutes, then you are okay. You are mentally sure कि अभी सब कीटाणु खत्म हो गए. Similarly, जब भी मेरा body में fever आए, when my body has heated up due to fever, so if you think, I mean, if you're taking as per the germ theory, you will say that, you know, some kind of germs or toxins are there in the body, which the body has raised the temperature to get rid of on its own. So at that time, if somebody takes a paracetamol or a, you know, or like that kind of a allopathic drug to switch off the gas, so body's attempt to clear your toxins and, you know, throw away the waste and, you know, supposedly kill the germ has been stopped by your paracetamol, by your interference. So we should not interfere in the body's innate. No, the body knows how to heal. So at that time, don't stop the body's ability to heal itself. That's why it's so important that one should understand that these diseases are our friends and we should not focus on suppressing it. We should let our body detoxify. So loose motions हुआ तो बहुत अच्छा है, निकल रहा है सब toxins. Vomiting हुआ, वो तो अभी anybody who eats you know, बाहर कभी खराब खाना खाया, food poisoning हुआ, body is first going to throw up. Now we should not take anything to stop that vomiting, because let it throw out, let it detoxify. So one should really understand why these acute diseases are important. Because I know so many people who have, you know, are leading a very bad lifestyle and are not getting any kind of acute diseases for years, and then they'll end up with a cancer diagnosis. So we don't want that. We want the acute diseases to come. So if any kind of acute diseases come, firstly, be grateful. Yes, your body is able to heal on its own, detoxify on its own. So this is something, especially in these days, very, very important, you know, for everybody to understand.
Kapilji, you were asking us, the session can be in Hindi. This session was not in Hindi, but definitely if there's a session in Hindi, I'll keep you posted. Please upload a video detailing tonic enemas. You know, we won't be able to upload a video detailing tonic enemas, but as Nisha ji mentioned, the enemas are not supposed to be the regular enemas that you get in the market, which advise you to take 500 or 1 liter of water. These are just called tonas instead of even being called enemas, because you just put about 150 to 200 ml of water at the most. Nisha, would you like to explain this further?
Yes, because you, it's not at all a violent method. It's just 150, 200 ml of water, then you put it through the anal canal through the anus, and then you have to, there are a few positions which you can lie down in, and it is, you have to try and retain the water inside for at least 10 minutes or so, and then automatically it will be expelled out. So that is the whole procedure of a tonic enema. And it has to be, see, others which I spoke about, that is fasting, pranayam, exercise, sunbathing, cold water shower, you know, the Prithvi Tattva, are all basically lifestyle. But tonas are basically not a lifestyle, it has to be used as a therapy. So one should not think, okay, you know, every time constipation and all, constipation होगा ही नहीं अगर आपको natural lifestyle आप live कर रहे हो, nature cure आप follow कर रहे हो, you will never get a constipation. So this is a basically therapy which we use to detoxify, and it's clubbed with the Akash Tattva. So in the beginning, yes, it has to be used just to clear your system, but then it has to be just done once a week.
Where to get your videos? So Pooja, you can get Nisha's videos on Cancer Naturally Healing. That's her YouTube channel. How do we learn more about Nature Cure? So at the moment, we're not doing anything on the alternative initiative, but soon I am planning to bring up a Nature Cure course with Dr. Arun Sharma itself. So if you're really interested, you could leave us your contact details, and we'll keep you posted on the same. Amrit, yeah, that's for you. Any alternative to milk for kids? So
kids don't need milk unless they are small babies and they are drinking their mother's breast milk. Till that time, they will need milk. After that, they don't need any milk of any kind, even plant milk. They are not, they just don't need it. So it's, you can easily give them fruits, and mashed bananas and so many things, like how we are having, you can give that same kind of food in a pulpy manner to them. But they don't need milk of any sort. So you don't need to, okay, you are stopping animal milk and you're going to coconut milk, almond milk, and all that is really not needed, because any of those other plant milks are also not whole food, because you're taking out the fiber and then you're taking giving the milk. So some of the dishes, if you really need, then yes, you can use almond milk and coconut milk and all. But otherwise, as a regular diet, you don't need any milk of any sort.
Like one of the richest source of calcium is sesame seeds. Give kids. So, when you put, make their roti, you put ghee on it. So you put sesame seeds on it. They chew it well and they get their calcium from there.
All of us are lactose intolerant. We cannot
Yeah.
digest milk. It causes.
We don't realize that, right? Till we've learned about it. Now we
That's
realize
what.
that, oh, milk could triggered this bloating, or milk triggered this loose motion, or whatever.
And milk giving calcium is such a big myth, because if somebody is having osteoporosis and all, the first thing they should do is stop milk.
Milk.
Because as milk increases the acid level in the body, and to combat that, the calcium from the bones is taken away.
Yes.
So it worsens the situation. So once milk is stopped, then the body starts healing and bones repair. And as you said, the sesame seeds is khaskhas, in Bengali as we say posto. And there are a lot of ragi hai. There's so many calcium alternatives which
Lots of
are
them.
more powerful, that way.
Let me just done with some more questions. Should we drink 3 to 4 liters of water every day, or can it be less?
No.
Please answer it.
No need. There is no need to torture the body by drinking 3 to 4 liters. Only drink when you're really thirsty. And drink also in the method, it's supposed to be not like gat, muh mein rakh ke aaram se dheere dheere pani. And if you're so high raw, no, you don't really feel so thirsty, because you're getting the food, the water from the actual source. If the fruits and vegetables have real water, so you don't feel so thirsty. The minute you have cooked food, then you actually start feeling thirsty. But one thing very, very important, not to drink water with the cooked meal. Or any meal actually. 1 hour gap has to be there, because we cannot dilute the digestive juices and it will hamper the process of digestion. So water has to be kept separately. Don't mix it with any meal, especially cooked meal also, and drink it slowly. You don't need to drink so much water at all.
Amrit is asking any group for further updates. Amrit, we are on Instagram by the name The Alternative Initiative, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Alternative Initiative. So if there's anything, it's usually posted on the Instagram handle. It's the_alternative_initiative. Then fantastic session of sharing experience. Thank you. There's a group I would like to join. Sure. All those who've shared your numbers, I'll keep you posted. What can we add? What can they add in oats if not milk? Just water. And oats also.
Oats. Oats itself is a processed food which you will have. So just try this. Start this, Once you start this lifestyle, you will see the difference. This is something which one has to experience. And then you will see the benefits. Then you will not want to go back to the old lifestyle at all.
Sure. Shalika is asking, can nature treat chronic kidney disease and other such diseases?
See, as I said, nature cure is not no curing of diseases. It's only improving health. The focus is not, on this disease or that disease or cancer or kidney disease or anything. We are focusing only on improving health. So once the health improves, so automatically there is no disease. So हमको disease के ऊपर focus ही नहीं करना है. हमको सिर्फ health बढ़ाना है. बस वही simple focus रखो, automatically the whole mindset changes. Because see, the body is a whole part, right? There's kidney is not separate and heart is not separate, and lungs are not separate. So we are focused on the whole body's health. सब improve हो जाएगा.
What about curd? Isn't it probiotic?
Again, it's come from an animal. So unless you're the animal's child, only then you can have that animal's milk and its milk products. So if one needs to have curd, you can make vegan curd with peanuts, and other methods are there, so many methods. So you can have the even coconut ka malai ka chas bana ke pee sakte hain. There's a lot of ways you can make the dishes you want. But again, animal products is a big no for the body. Very difficult for the body to digest.
And in probiotic, anyways, like your kanji, you can make gajar ka kanji, beetroot kanji. There's so many. So all of this, your sauerkraut, all of these options are there as good probiotics. You really don't need curd. Another thing is that even in Ayurveda, they prefer charch. As you just mentioned, the charch is way better than consuming curd by itself. It's difficult for the body to digest curd. And we don't no longer sosa milk how our ancestors did.
No, and this I will just talk about a little about animals also. Now, if anybody has a dog, they will all go to a vet. पहले उधर लिखा रहता है, no milk and milk products. So dogs को भी नहीं देना है. जो भी उधर vet सब बोलते हैं, don't give the dog any milk and milk products. Why? Because they know the dog cannot digest it.
True.
So I have 2 dogs, that's why I know about this, and we don't give them. But the point is, agar dogs ko bhi pata hai, then they cannot digest. So humans should know, right? We cannot digest any other animal's milk and milk products.
Right.
So we cannot. It's very dangerous.
How to treat B12 vitamin issue?
Don't check your body, check your habits. See, I myself don't check my body, and during the sun, I mean, now there's no sunlight here at all. So I know I'm getting my vitamin D, enough of vitamin D, and B12 I'm getting because I'm taking the sunlight, I'm drinking coconut water. So I really don't need any supplements. So there's a lot of gray area here, even among the vegan world and the whole food world, because they insist that B12 and vitamin D has to be supplemented. Now, I myself really are not supplementing myself. Once in a 6 months, maybe if I feel too tired, then maybe I'll take a vitamin D sachet or 1 tablet of B12. But I know that's not the way it's supposed to be. But otherwise, I personally don't take any supplements. But there's a lot of studies which says, yes, these two, because we are not living a very natural lifestyle, and we're not living in the nature, we're living in the urban city life. So we need to take these 2 supplements. So this is something one needs to research on their own.
Okay, then what about A2 ghee?
Same answer.
It's all the same answer, yeah. Then there is rolled oats, I think, are not processed.
No idea. I'm not into that at all, so I have not even.
So rolled oats are not processed, you're right. But the thing is that oats with milk in any which ways, like Nisha's explained so much about milk to you. The point is that no milk in any form is not good. And if you really want to consume rolled oats, you can have them once in a while. There is no harm. Yes, they are unprocessed.
It's a grain, right? Ultimately, it's a grain.
Yes.
So, jitna kam grains ho sake, it's best. And raw, see, when we are fasting, I mean, every day we fast. That's why the first meal is called a breakfast. We are breaking our fast. So it should be the highest in nutrition, what you can give your body. So at that time, it's better not to take any grains and all, because it's not, anyway, it's a processed product. So it's best to take something raw. And if you want to have the grain, it's better to keep it for 1 meal a day in the evening if you want to.
Correct. Then this one more. Is rice really bad for cancer? We are South Indians and eat rice every day. Rasam and sambar are also eaten daily.
See, rice and wheat, I think so, have come after the Green Revolution. If you study about the history of millets, those are very, very traditional ancient grains, these are. And in fact, South India was a very big way. I mean, Dr. Khadarwali is from Mysore, and he came back and he did his whole studies and research on millets 20 years back. So the millets is something, when I showed my mom, she is 82, and I showed it to her, she said, oh my God, when we were small babies, now she used to stay in Banaras, they used to have these grains. So what happened? The Green Revolution brought about rice and wheat, but earlier we used to, all parts of India, we used to be having these traditional ancient golden millets. So once you know and study about the history, you will find out this is the actual grains which we used to have. And if you still want to continue rice, please have them the unpolished, the brown rice or the red rice, which is unpolished completely and organic. Have that, but try and have, because there's absolutely no change in taste. If you have the millets, you can easily have them as rice, because I personally have them daily.
Correct.
So just cook it like a rice, but of course you need to soak them for at least 5 to 6 hours. And then since I have my food in the evening, it's cooked only in the evening, and then I have that. With your rasam, you can have it with your rasam. It will taste just like rice.
Especially little millet. Little millet is exactly the same as rice. There is really no difference. So yeah, and our gut can make it in the presence of food and sunbath. B12 happens naturally in us when we follow the entire nature cure. True. And also, you know, the peels of, like if you're having a potato, have the whole potato. So the peels of the vegetables have a good amount of B12, and in plant-based nutrition, they have an important role to play. Soya is good or bad to consume?
I myself have not had soya because see, when I started on this journey, what I learned was better to stay away from the top 10 allergens in the world. So there, of course, non-veg, dairy, wheat, and soya did come in, corn came in. But of course, there's a lot of confusion about soya again, because they say that it has been given a bad name because it can easily replace the non-veg or the meat taste. But if you don't really need soya. Again, it's a pulse, and you don't need that kind of a bean in a daily lifestyle. So if one wants to really consume soya as a bean, so you can have it once in a way and cook it like how you make your chole or rajma or something if really needed. But otherwise, avoid. I mean, why would you need a soya unless you want to every day process it, take away the milk, and have the milk, or you want to make paneer or something out of it? Again, you don't need to put in so much high protein inside your body. Protein is something very difficult for the body to digest. So it's something you definitely cannot digest it if you're leading a very normal lifestyle. To digest that kind of high protein, you need to have a very, very active, intensive lifestyle so that you can burn that protein. So daily soya is not to be consumed at all.
Is black coffee and tea without milk bad for cancer patients and those in remission?
Highly acidic, very acidic. So you don't need to put that kind of stuff inside your body, which will increase the acid level. So you have to only put that kind of stuff, which is more alkaline. So our diet has to be more alkaline. So why would you need to drink a tea, a coffee, which will create? If you want to only drink tea, then you just take few tulsi leaves and garam agar aapko peena hi hai, वैसे just take tulsi leaves, boil it and have that. It will be the tulsi chai. Or you can take lemongrass, fresh lemongrass, cut it, boil it and have the lemongrass tea without the tea leaves. So you really don't need tea leaves or the sugar and gur and milk, of course, no, but you don't need that kind of.
And this, I think, is the last question for the day. How to take papaya leaves juice?
Oh, I used to take the papaya leaf. It's a big leaf, so cut it in half, and then I don't know what's it called in English. That wooden stone thing. The grinder.
The
stone
grinder.
Yeah.
The mortar and pestle.
Yes. Grind it and then take away the juice and little bit juice, whatever that I used to take it. It's very bitter, but that was also known as one of the cancer medicines. So yes, I used to take that cancer papaya leaf juice in that manner.
Sure. So perfect. I think we're done. Amrita saying gratitude to both of you. It is divine timing. I have been following all that I am doing. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone who joined in this afternoon. And thank you so much, Nisha. I am so glad we were able to put this across. Also, if you want any further updates, as so many of you have mentioned, you can follow my Instagram handle. It's called The Alternative Initiative. It's the_alternative_initiative. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Pleasure having you, really. I'm so glad being a nature care practitioner myself, I'm so glad that, I had you to kind of put this point across, because the moment, like I said, you tell people that, these are all the changes you need to make, it's such an overwhelming feeling that it's only till the time they've reached this level where, we reached, that they want to live in complete ignorance. I just wish this awakening happens earlier than too late.
Yes, it's happening. It's slowly shifting. The earth is shifting towards natural healing, and
Yes.
I'm seeing it daily. See, there is really, honestly, no better doctor than Mother Nature. There
Agreed.
is no better doctor. So there's no doubt about it. So once for me, what I did, I feel that when you're small and you're hurt, you go and run to your mom's lap and you know that you're safe. So
Correct.
similarly, when you are, supposedly diagnosed with any kind of ailment, so you go running to Mother Nature, and automatically that confidence will come. Okay, abhi to kuch hoga hi nahi. I'm completely safe, and Mother Nature is taking care of me. And yes, but you have to act on it. You cannot just, be in Mother Nature's arms, but you have to take effort, and you have to. It's once you start living that lifestyle, everything falls in place. वो confidence आ ही जाता है. There's no fear left. So that's the power of natural healing.
True.
So it just happens once you understand that this is just not right for your body. For me, it happened, of course, in one day, because as I found that this is so much easier than that. There was
Yeah.
no way I was going to go in for that method. So for me, it was like one day. Now I keep telling everybody now, why did my husband or my Devrani and all of them, why did they follow this? It's not because they love me so much. Of course, hopefully they do, but it's because once you know that this is not right for your body, you don't want to put it inside.
Correct.
So once you start loving yourself and you want to just put the correct kind of food, it becomes very simple. And I'll just tell everybody, we are having WhatsApp groups also on for all the people who want to heal from cancer naturally, because then there's a kind of a support system. You feel you're not alone. There are
Right.
so many others who are healing from cancer naturally, completely naturally. There are many who are doing both. Some of them are doing conventional. Some of them are doing only natural, like me. Some of them have got bad results with the conventional. Now they have started doing natural. But then that it is like a support system. So whoever wants to join that, of course, I have the few guidelines. Anybody who wants to join that group, especially it's for the cancer diagnosis. And I, of course, tell everybody, please don't own the cancer. Always call it the cancer, and the diagnosis. It's never me or mine. It's always own health. Always say you are healthy, own health. So be happy and take charge of your own health, because don't leave your body's decision to some third person, who's going to be in charge and say, okay, you are going to die in so many days. No way. We are going to live, and we are going to live very healthily and happily. So just take charge of yourself and research well. That's what I tell everybody.
And of course, Nisha can be contacted on Cancer Naturally Healing. You can feel free to get in touch with her. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Ishmeet. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
calling me.
Totally my pleasure. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone who joined us this evening. It's been a pleasure to have such a engaged audience as well. Thank you.